yo, you know who Big Jay Oakerson is? And the guy goes, no. And I went, oh. It was such a genuine, I was like, oh.
Why does everyone die after they meet you?
I don't know, man. It's the kiss. It's the kiss of death.
You didn't wear one?
No, I did wear, and
There's
let me
no
tell
photos?
you, let me tell you, they're scrubbed from the internet, those photos. There was a time in my life you'll never see, okay? Hi guys, welcome to Anniewood, to my sweet Woodies. We have a great offering for your Woodies later, so stay tuned. We have the wonderful Big Jay Oakerson on here, a Philadelphia bud of mine, a friend for a long time, a hilarious comedian. He's so funny. I thought he had a special coming out, but really he was just here to hang out. And I was so honored. We had so much fun. We talked a lot about some similarities we have in our algorithm on YouTube. And we just had a great fun chat. So please enjoy. This one is gonna be one you're gonna wanna watch on the Patreon. You guys, if you join the Patreon, you will get an uncensored version of this one. We apologize, but when you get two Philly people together, the language gets a little filthy. So we have the unedited version there on Patreon for you. And if you don't want to join the Patreon, all good, but you're going to hear some bleeps. All right, guys, I am on the road. I'm getting so excited. I'm on the road to the special. So these are very important dates of mine. It's very important and exciting for you guys to see what I have all worked out and how it's all shaking out. So please come to see me live. I love performing for you. I will be this Tuesday, I will be at the Comedy Store with an Anniewood and friends. We have an amazing lineup. We have Johnny Pemberton, who was on last week's episode. We have Kumail Nanjiani, Craig Robinson, and we have some special guests that are very big, very, 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 very big, very, very exciting. So you're not going to want to miss it. Get your tickets to that before they sell out. I'm going to be in Jacksonville, Florida at the end of the month, June 28th and 29th. I'm going to be in Irvine, California, July 19th and 20th, my birthday. Come visit. I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona at the Desert Ridge Improv, July 25th to 27th. I'm going to be in Ontario, Canada at the Comedy Bar, August 30th and 31st. I'll be in Eugene, Oregon, September 12th, and I'll be in Tacoma, Washington, September 13th and 14th, and Naples, Florida at Off the Hook Comedy Club, October 10th. I'll be in Minnesota at the House of Comedy, October 18th and 19th, Chicago, Illinois at the Den Theater, October 23rd. I'm so excited to see you. We're adding more dates as we speak. Please come, enjoy, and have fun this episode.
Welcome to Anniewood.
Hi guys, welcome to Anniewood, episode 84. Speaking of 80s, we have 80s, 70s baby?
70s, baby.
Oh, sad.
77.
77, oh
December 77, so almost 78. Almost got into the 80s.
78 wouldn't have even been close.
No, but
We call them...
I was happy. The 80s was a fun one to...
Because you got to experience
some of those things, yeah.
I was 83, so I got like 7 years of it.
Yeah, you had internet all through high school and probably a little before.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Gateways, we had the...
phones. Did you get to experience... You're Philly too, so like, did you... go through the beeper, the beeper.
Oh yeah, I had major.
Beeper with the. Would you get it airbrushed?
No, I had a see-through like baby blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
See-through baby blue.
Did you have codes with your girlfriends and boyfriends?
No, I never got 1, 4, 3.
By the way, I meant to say boyfriends, and then I said girlfriends first, and boyfriends. Like I'm your grandmother talking to you.
Your girlfriends and boyfriends.
Are you your girlfriends?
As it be.
My grandmother always called my guy friends my boy. She said, Jason's playing downstairs with his boyfriend.
Oh yeah, that's.
And you'd hear it, and you'd be like, "Stop putting it like that,
Jason.
Please."
Weird to call you. Hear you called Jason.
Yeah.
That's what your family calls you?
No.
Just your grandmother?
They call me Jay.
Was you in trouble?
Yeah, when I was younger, I think they called me Jason much more. Yeah.
I feel like your grandmother's still alive and probably like in her 60s.
No, she's in her 60s.
I guess.
Just a slight guess. No, she passed away 2 years ago, 89. She was 89, yeah. But if you're looking for the trash connection, like raised me very heavily for many years.
Yeah. No, I mean.
While my mom was figuring it out.
Yeah, my grandparents were dead while I was still single digits. They were out.
Both of them.
Oh, yeah, my dad's 83.
Oh, so you had this. Oh, yeah, your parents had you older.
But what's weird is my dad was 41 when he had me, and I thought he was like the oldest man alive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40. Like when I have kids, I'll be older than him.
You're gonna have kids?
I think so. We have frozen embryos.
Oh yeah. it's interesting to watch both sides of that because doing the show with Bobby Kelly now, I'm watching someone who's 53 with a 11-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the difference in the time and like how his time is consumed and how it has to be.
Yeah.
Where I'm 46 with
You're
a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And you know, she's gonna be 22 this year. So it's like it's a thing. You know what I mean? There's something cool. Like I can go. Not that I still can't smoke weed with her or whatever. I smoke weed in front of her.
Yeah, but not with her. That's so rude.
You
like buy your own weed.
First of all, I don't know how much she really smokes anyway. Quite honestly, I don't think she's like. I feel like if it was that pressing to her, she would have at least tried one time to be like, "Hey, can I?"
Yeah.
She never has.
Is she sober at Skankfest?
It was last year. Last year was the year. It happened right before she turned 21. Right. So yes. If she comes this year, like I took her to a Sixers game and she was getting some twisted teas. Oh, God. When I take her to concerts, she'll get a twist. Which is funny about that is like I'm drinking White Claws. Like that's my jam. Yeah. So just sitting there, two ladies drinking at a Madonna concert together. But it is fun. I'm almost saying like that's kind of and it's neat for Bobby to bring an 11-year-old to those things, but like
it's different.
He starts to live with like the day-to-day worry. Not that I don't worry about her.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not about like
you're not responsible.
Is she getting picked on in school and blah blah? And it's like, you know, if she goes to dinner, it's not like, are you going to be home before whatever? It's like she can kind of do what she wants.
I'm planning on having Todd do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Todd just turned 30.
Yeah. And do you have good Todd? Do you have good reps for parents? Are they good?
My parents?
Source of reference for you?
Yeah, they're good.
Do you
like
think
together?
That's what
Well, I learned what a lot of
what not to do.
I mean, they don't let your kids sleep over their teacher's house who has dreads.
Yeah.
The white man with dreads.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that at all.
Don't do that. And then when she says she doesn't want to go over there anymore, don't try to like conspire with the wife to get her to go back over.
You want your mom work for Nickelodeon?
Honestly, I can't watch that because I'm like, Todd, the reason I can't watch the Nickelodeon documentary is because Todd's like, the saddest part is how upset the dad is. I'm like, yeah, that'll be triggering because my parents like aren't upset. That's the part that's annoying. Like, that's the triggering part.
No, but those stage parents though, they're
I know.
Unforgivable is the wrong word, but they're like you can't find the thing they feel like bad for them because they jam their kids into these situations.
Well, think about the Michael Jackson parents are like.
This is what I thought. Did you watch the Kevin Spacey thing?
Oh, I did watch that.
So the Kevin Spacey thing is so funny. It's like, sure. Confirmed, I guess. Kevin Spacey's a piece of shit. Seems like a real piece of shit. But are you trying to make me feel bad for a guy that already turned him down and was like, so I go, I guess I have to suck his
I know.
From the read my script.
God.
Then I start talking about the script and like, he doesn't even want to talk about my scripts.
But like, the thing that I didn't understand is like, why could they not? It's like if you met Kevin Spacey, okay, and he showed you this fake interest, can't you think in your head, like once he like starts next to you in a car, like, can't you think like maybe there's another celebrity I can meet that won't off in the car? Like, why is Kevin Spacey your only avenue to success? Like in their heads, they're like, I have to figure out a way to make this work.
No, but it's like their thing where it's like, you know, when you have that drive and that desire to get to the next level, and it's like that's what I mean. To me, the funny is like the drama of the choice that they have. It goes, he put me in this position, he starts next to me. I go, if any celebrity started off next to me, it's just like
you'd start along.
Yes. No, there's a whole bunch of possibilities to that. I'm saying if this is a funny enough situation, right. I'm gonna try to like maybe I can like secretly video this. That's kind of funny. My reaction probably never, unless they try to put their on me or something,
right.
would never be anything violent or lashing out at them.
Or leaning over and sucking his
certainly wouldn't be leaning over and sucking his
I was like, wow.
No, but he went that night to suck he basically said when he knew he started hanging out with him again because he wrote a script. He goes, I figured this is the way Hollywood works, I guess, so I'm going to suck his. And they just found out that it's like, no, it's not just suck his dick and he reads your script and makes a movie for you. And he's like, seems so baffled by that. And it's like, you know, it's the stage mothers on, and that was the Borat or was that the other one? Was it Bruno? The one where he like, had the kid, you know, can we cover your kid in honey and put bees all over it? Like, could your kid lose some weight? And they're like, yeah, you're like, you people should have these kids taken away.
I know. It's very like.
I watched on Z-Rock. Z-Rock, that show I was on, it was about a band that played for kids' parties and then we're trying to become stars at night. And so to a lot of kids on set, and I was there for a couple of those scenes. By the third one I watched, I was like, they would ask me, they go, if you want to bring Isabel was like between 6 and 8 at the time, I guess, and they go, you could bring her. We'd be happy to put her in one of the guys, like one of the kids' parties, even give her a little line or something.
Like,
I tell you, I go, she's never asked. She knows what I'm doing.
yeah.
She's never asked. And I go, and two, the way that AD talks to these kids, dude, I go, me and him would be like right away. I go, okay. I go, dude, she's 6.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. I mean, they talk to these kids where they're like, guys, are we going to do this today? Or are we going to get to go home? Or do you want us to sit here all day? And like, they're adults and you're like, buddy, these kids are like, they can't believe what they're doing. And their parents are like, I remember this one, me and Dave Smith were so turned off. This lady came over and she was like, that's my little one right there. She goes, he's already got like 3 girlfriends. I mean, it's like, and she just like, she's talking about him like she's talking about some dude who's crushing pussy around town. And he's like a kid who's like, you know, you can see his underwear. Yeah, also pretty effeminate for the most part. But it is like that's a pretty gross world. So yeah,
commercial auditions. Like I would go on commercial auditions where it would be like you'd be in the room with kids and they're trying. It's so sad. They're trying to get it and they're like so hard on themselves. And then out in the waiting room, the kids are thirsty. They're hungry. The mom's like, run it again, run it again, run it again. And then I'm talking to the kids. I'm like, so like, this is like school time for you, right? And they're like, no, my mom picks me up early and then we just run lines on the way home. We're just like running lines all the time. I'm like,
it's always the parents want the kids to do it. They're always lying when they go, my kid said she wanted to be a star. Goes, they don't even understand the process. They say they want to be whatever the character is on a show. They don't go like, I wonder what the cockles of this business are. Like, I want to really get into the back. That's what's so funny. People always said that I always want to be a comedian. I always thought that was funny. I go, until someone said, why didn't you try comedy? I still shrugged that off as like, what's the possibility of that? I walked by the Laugh House and thinking, I was like, open mic night. I go, oh, I guess that's, but I never even like thought about doing it because I was like, I don't know. All I know about comedy is people on TV doing comedy.
Right.
That's like, I'm sure you don't just go, hey, Jay Leno, I could do it. You know, like.
Well, Jay Leno might be in a car with you one day and you may have a special favor to give him. No, I
Jay,
worked
would you like to read my script, please?
I worked on a show where they had kids on. We were doing like a sketch. It was right after Jesse Salme. What was it? Smollett, whatever the hell his name is. That whole thing happened. So we had these kids like making, it was Barbies that were culturally appropriating. And so these little kids were like, let's lynch him. Like it was like, throw a noose on him. And it was just like, even though it was like, it's just like, then the parents are like laughing. And
they don't give a shit. It's wild. They really don't. They're just like, are you going to put him in something? So that Nickelodeon thing, to go back, what that is, again, it's like you feel pretty bad for the kids. They've all grown up to be quite annoying, but you feel pretty bad for them. And like their parents are just like unforgivable, like pieces of shit.
You can tell. You can
they would
always
send them
tell.
back.
Like, you can tell.
The Drake one is the, we talked about that on Legion of Skanks. That was the only thing that people got a little shitty about, but like it was the case where it was like, he went to his dialogue coach's house and that guy,
he said, open up your mouth.
Started fight. Well, the one
through your diaphragm.
The one clip we got in trouble for is because I said, it just said when we were watching the part where Drake Bell essentially is the only person who tells you that he got like
right
by a guy. And then they're asking him in the thing, they go, what did he do to you? Like sexually? And he goes, pretty much the worst thing that you could imagine. I was like, he shit in your mouth and then f***ed your mouth and then down your throat and then you shit out his combination of your shit and then he f***ed that and then made you and he goes, and then it says like he was sodomized. I go, oh, thank God. Oh, he was just he was just he goes, please do not ask me to guess the thing. That got some like heat for the thing. And I think the other one is just like again, it's those people, you know, we said like how we always say we like Red Bar. I think he's making comedy out of like f***ing with people. I do think he goes, like I said, I'll always say on record, like I think don't have people f*** up people's shows, live shows. That's like shit to do, but like talk them all you want. I think it's funny. Like the people who write like the articles about like, you know, like what how terrible people are and like that. And that guy came back and wrote a thing about Legion of Skanks because it was we have a meeting with our crew. It's so funny when people don't get like the behind the scenes of everything. we have a meeting with our crew every week, Legion of Skanks, believe it or not. And we go over what we're going to do and whatever games or thing, whatever the crazy is going to be this week with our staff. And the Nickelodeon thing was a story. And we go, okay, so this show, we're going to celebrate the leadership styles of Dan Schneider, the guy around it. Because again, you didn't see it, but there's a lot of things that was just like, he made his staff to like massage him, massage his feet. The one girl, there's another batshit story in there. She was like, he made me pantomime getting anally getting from behind while I pitched him ideas for the show. And
oh my God.
It was in a writer's room, and she's like, I was humiliated. And I go, it just feels like something that was said. And you know what I mean? It sounds like something like, it's not that I don't know what the situation is, but I would say those words to you, not sexually. Do you know what I mean? Right. Almost like you're supposed to say no.
Now you're getting, but do it, like pretend you're getting.
Yeah. I was saying, and it's the thing where it was like, you obviously don't do it, or if you do, you get whatever it is, it's just feel like everyone's laughing. It's like
I know it's weird when the stuff.
It felt like a weird thing where it's like, I feel like that was camaraderie, and you were just, and now you're going like, I hated that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a terrible, but we said we were going to do that, and we asked our staff because we're not monsters. We're like, what would you guys be willing to do of these things? We like squirt like
That's
whatever whipped cream on your face and do those things, and they said yes to some and no to whatever.
Yeah.
And then we did.
And we made them do the ones they said no to.
Yeah, and we did the whole show. When the guy writes the article, it's just so funny when it comes out and it goes, it was like they say they're going to celebrate the style, like this leadership styles of Dan Schneider, and then they go on to make their staff perform the same acts on camera, no less. And it's like when you read it back, you're like, you're just describing the bit. Like,
and it's funny.
It doesn't make sense. Like what you're doing, you're going like, and it's like you're just describing the bit and putting like vampire like organ behind it, like dun dun dun. Because it's going. It's just like
I know.
That's the joke.
What are you mad about? We're trying to make light of a very
terrible
topic.
thing. Why not?
But also, you want to like poke holes in it. It's funny.
Of course, but I'm saying it's also the idea that like. I said it's the bulk question that's always so stupid. You know what I mean? That's what I've gotten 1,000. Do you think is funny? Like, what monster thinks the action?
Yes, but
it's like, but you're saying you can't say the word in context to make it like funny is retarded.
I know it doesn't make sense. You should be able to make fun of everything.
I'm saying, what a question to ask somebody though. You think baby murder is funny? Like, yeah, you found me. I'm the one guy. I'm the one guy who thinks the act of baby murder is hilarious.
I know it really is weird. And then if you make it up, obviously it's going to be funnier.
Right.
The second you say it's not funny, you're like, well,
but it's because it's absurd. Whatever you're saying,
so
because no one's into baby murder.
Well, maybe they are. Maybe the people writing the articles are.
I feel like people are into baby murder, but those people rarely show up to comedy.
That's not true.
Well, there's that one guy, did kill Tony, I guess, who murdered his chick, right?
Oh,
she was like a hairstylist to the stars or makeup.
Someone did kill Tony and was a murderer?
Yeah. It's all. I think Ewu's got the stories up there. One of the Ewus has it on there. You see a little clip of Kill Tony back at the belly room or back at the main room.
Fun. That's
and
exciting.
It was this guy. It's funny. I texted Tony. I'm like, dude, are you aware of this? He was like, oh yeah. It was the girl.
He's like, we only have murders. I told you, we only have murders.
She was a photographer or something. That's what it was. And like, she was Drew Carey's ex-girlfriend.
I did see that. I didn't know he had done Kill Tony though.
He did Kill Tony.
He dabbled in stand-up. He did a minute.
Well, he was one of those acting didn't work, so he's just going to do stand-up.
Yeah, he was like stalking her.
That would be for me.
She was if
I was in the clubs on a daily basis in LA, that would be my difficult thing to get past. No, is the I'm going to take up spot time now and stage time when it's like you're getting spot time for famous from something else, like the I'll try comedy now thing.
Oh yeah, but
like acting didn't work, so I'll try comedy. It's like
yeah, but the people doing that can actually get stage time aren't like
around
Carey's ex-girlfriends.
No. Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that guy wasn't.
That guy was doing Kill Tony.
Yeah, he was doing he got pulled out of a bucket. No, the people that are bumping you are like Martin Lawrence.
Well, that's a goodie.
But
there's some weird. I mean, I don't know what the equivalent is now. When I first came out, it was like Dak Shepard.
Yeah,
like, what?
What?
Like he does comedy, and they're like now.
Well, T.I. started doing comedy.
Yeah.
But people were like pissed and didn't.
By the way, I'm a total
like,
phony.
no.
By the way, if I met any of them, I'd be like, yo, that's so cool. You're doing comedy now.
This is the best. You're so funny.
It's the best.
I always thought you were funny.
And you're also ahead of the game because you've already been on stage and you know the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you have the comfort on stage. And, if I could open for you, that would be amazing.
All you got to do now is apply it and do the,
the
thing.
Do you want me to watch your set? I can give you notes. Oh, my God. I always ask people in that position, I was like, would you want me to watch your set?
Yeah, well.
And if they say yes, I go, ooh, they are delusional.
You know Chris Kale, right? From Five Finger Death Punch.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a big comedy fan. Like I had him he started doing comedy and he did guest spots on my show. He did fine. He's more like storytelling, Five Finger Death Punch stuff, which is good way to start. And it's funny because I said I gave the same, like, it's like, well, you've already been on stage, so you blah, blah, blah. But there is a thing, like, if you like the person, you are just sort of rooting for them. Like, you don't really know what, I mean, the ceiling's probably there. You know what I mean?
It's like if you want to do it, try. I give my brother.
I think they also just kind of want to do it for fun. I don't think he's thinking of like the second life of a comic. But like,
and if they are, it's like.
If it works out, fantastic, by the way.
Well, now you can just, it's a different world.
When's Tila Tequila coming back as a comic?
What did she went crazy, right?
She went like super Hitlery
or something.
She went like Hitlery, and then she I've watched. I was sometimes I wake up earlier than Christine, and I just put on YouTube things that she would never ever watch, like whatever happened to Tila Tequila. Yeah, she got fat. Look at her face. Yeah, her face is nuts.
She looks like a fish.
Yeah, she did a bunch of crazy. She has kids. They have videos of her telling her kids like to say the N-word and shit.
Whoa.
It's like wild.
Wow. Whoa.
It's it was such a very quick like fall apart too, because I mean, I remember it seemed like right after they were like, hey, there's a video of Tila Tequila getting butt.
And you were like,
I went and watched it. They're like, she's so hot still and all that. And then it's like, next thing you saw, it's like she's hailing Hitler in a SS costume. She's teaching her kids to be racist. She's like, then she got super religious after the Nazi thing.
The downfall there's always a baptism involved.
Oh yes.
Downfall.
For sure. Yeah.
They're
In some kind of very iconic seawater.
Yeah.
They always got to make a pilgrimage to somewhere. Yeah, so I'm sure that's what the Jesuits pictured when they even Tila Tequila can come be washed in the water of Christ.
We saw her washed in semen recently. We're watching her washed in the sea. Now, the doctors that are giving people filler like that should be in prison.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
there should be a board like overseeing it. There should be a group of doctors that decide whether people can get procedures.
I feel like if that's the possible outcome of what you're doing, it should only happen like offshore. You got to keep that like 2 miles into the ocean.
It's just like that woman is gonna catch a hook. Like that is a fish. That woman
she's
is
crazy
no
looking
longer.
now. But what a fall apart, man! I wish I knew anybody, especially because I know so many younger people like in porn now from like doing the SDR show and stuff. I wish I like knew more, just like if they're so young and you're like, oh man, I know you even say you're having fun now, but this just goes so sad. It just always goes sad, man.
I know. Jenna Jameson is like a lesbian now, right?
Everyone we thought got away from it. Jenna Jameson, she went mainstream. She did it. I couldn't tell you what Sasha Gray's doing. Maybe Sasha Grey, but she kind of fell off the earth ultimately. I assume she'll show up back up at some point. Maybe not. But I mean,
but do they even make enough money to like?
Dude, Lisa Ann, I've known for years now, and I want her to be all together, but she got publicly kicked out of Matt Rife's, Radio City Music Hall show, and they tried to put her in an ambulance.
Was that real? I thought that was fake.
No,
I thought that was staged.
No, and then she came in.
Are you serious?
She's on Bonfire. She's on Bonfire talking like 70 miles an hour. I was like, Lisa, do you think they put you in the ambulance because you don't put periods in any of your paragraphs?
Oh.
And I love Lisa, but it's almost that thing too where you're like, I've known her being like so like she's very buttoned up. Like, buttoned up's the wrong word, but she's just like together.
How old is she now?
I mean, late 40s, at least 50, maybe even past 50. She still looks fantastic.
Right, so
when she came in last time I saw her was the first time I saw her. I was just like, oh, is there something going? You know what I mean? It's just like, because it's just sort of like the fall where it was erratic. The thing that happened with him, and then I was like, yeah, come on the show and tell your thing. And she came on. I felt a little bad. I was like, I don't know if she's making your point well. I think everyone listening to this is going to be like, this chick took her phone. And she's like, I never had my phone out. Like an enemy of mine reached out to somebody who they know works at security at radio. No. Yeah, one of those things where you're like, is it though? or did you just pull out your phone?
Was she invited or did she just go? Was it like Matt Rife?
She may have had a pass or something like that. I mean, he hosted the awards when I went that year with the podcast.
I know, I could see him.
So like, I mean, they could have hooked up even for who knows, but whatever it was. Yeah, I don't think he had her removed by any stretch. It was like security.
She's like, do you know who I am?
I was like, my phone was in my...
Do you know who I was? My phone was in my...
It's funny, she's not even who she was. Like her career kicked in, I believe, like second half of like, because she played what was her name? The Alaska governor.
Oh yeah, Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. She played Naylor Palin.
Oh, so
and that was her and that was like a biggest movie of the year, I guess.
That's so funny.
And it just got her back as like the main MILF.
That's just porn is like why would you not make everything parody?
Lisa's great because it is someone you know them. It's good. It depends where you know them. Like I hung out with what's her name? Jessie Jane came on the show and was junked out of her mind.
Really?
I mean, couldn't sit down. It was crazy. I just felt bad airing the episodes. I'm like, jaw was just going. She was a mile a minute. And then when I said I was performing at some point in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I said it in my plugs. And she's like, oh, I live there. I'm going to come see. And I was like, yeah, sure. But we didn't exchange any info or anything. And then Ralph hits me up at one point. He goes, yeah, bark at Ralph. Ralph hits me at one point and goes, fuck, where was I? That dog bark took me right out of my such a dumb pothead.
She was coming to your show in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah. She goes, she wants to come. Like she reached out to me to say, like, to get your number. Is it okay to give it to her? Her and her boyfriend want to come to the show. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She came, hung out afterwards with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend seemed like he was much younger than her. Definitely like seemed like he was sober.
Yeah.
Or at least not problematically up at all. She was exactly the same, the mile a minute. They took off. I think 2 months later, they both discovered dead in their bed on a wellness check, just OD'd together.
The last thing they saw was your show.
Not the last thing. That'd be funny.
They found that night.
Coincidence?
They're like, we're done. We've seen everything we need to see.
That's it. He goes, comedy's done now.
Oh my goodness, you guys, I have this cool backpack on. It's a great carry-on item. Yeah, you might think you're going on a trip somewhere, but you really don't need to ever leave your house again. This is basically a girlfriend. That's right. Your girl, Annie Lederman, has got you the hookup of your own girlfriend. She fits compact into this beautiful, beautiful bag. And you know what? She doesn't talk too much, I'll tell you that. She keeps her trap shut in the way you need it to be. Oh, and open in all the ways you want her to be. Let's just see what we got in here. In here, we have the VacuGlide by AutoBlow. This is a top machine, you guys. This is better than real life. This, I'm telling you, you got 2 holes here right now. I recommend this one. Look at this thing. And it fits right into your backpack. So you can bring it home for the holidays, introduce it to your parents. And I know this looks like a computer, but it's way better than a computer. It's your sucking station, okay? It's the world's most pleasurable machine for men. It's great for folks with ED or just people who like to flick their male bean, if you know what I mean. Okay, it has different sizes because I know my woodies come in different shapes and sizes. This one is for my short kings, okay? This one's for my chocolate kings. And this one is for Todd. It's the medium one. You put the hose attachment in. Here's the plug. You put the hose attachment in. And then you place this on your sausage, and you just go, go, go. It's very exciting stuff. Here, let me put this down for a sec. Custom made for an on-the-go milking. okay? You shouldn't only have to be at your own home to get your D-est. You might not even need a girlfriend to join the Mile High Club. If you bring this on Carry On, guys. You can control the speed, the stroking distance. It uses the same concepts of a cow milking machine with alternates of suction with pressure. You know, it's kind of like a peen pump and a stroker all in one. So you'll be engorged. If you're not ready for the Vacuum Glide, it's too intense. Don't forget, Auto Blow has the Ultra, and it doesn't use suction. It just uses the rhythm of the AI movement. The Auto Blow Ultra syncs to a library of dirty movies, so it'll feel like you're really there. Get 10% off Vacuum Glide or Auto Blow Ultra when you use the promo code Annie. Make your girl proud, you guys. Be a true Woody and get your 10% off the Vacuum Glide or Auto Blow Ultra when you use the promo code Annie. That's promo code Annie for 10% off your Vacuum Glide or the Auto Blow Ultra. Be a true Woody and handle your wood. Ooh, boy, am I ready for summer. I am so ready up here for summer, but my skin wasn't ready. You know, I'm in this California sun a lot, and I've been looking for the right sunblock. I know that my mom has blessed me with these genes, but I know that not even genes can withhold against the sun. And so that's why I'm always looking for the right sunblock. And thank God for OneSkin. Their products are created by skin longevity scientists and backed by lab and clinical studies. So I'll look amazing all summer long. Their secret is their OS1 peptide. It targets aged cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and sagging, and is scientifically proven to reverse skin's biological age at a cellular level. Listen, guys, my sunblock is getting cellular. This summer, their limited edition Summer Skincare Essentials Bundle is where it's at. It includes their daily moisturizers and sunscreens for both face and body. I slathered this stuff all over my body when I went to the beach. I looked cute. I had my OneSkin. I was peptided up. Their broad spectrum of sunscreen is no joke. It will block UV rays while also targeting the UV-induced skin aging you already have. Guys, I don't know about you, but I used to go to the swimming pool as a kid, and I would always forget my sunblock, and I would look like a damn lobster. And OneSkin is helping that skin damage never appear. So thank you, OneSkin. OneSkin is more than sun care. It is about skin's longevity, targeting the root causes of aging to help you look and feel your best at every age. Get started today with 15% off using the code Annie at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Annie. Support our show and tell them we sent you. It's time to expect more from your skincare routine. Invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. OneSkin is going to the beach, baby.
It's always to be attached to so much of that stuff. I'm surprised. Like there was the Jay Twyman kid who used to come to Legion of Skanks constantly, murdered his mother.
Really? Who was he?
Jay Twyman. He was a young comic. Well, he looked a little older. He's out now. Weirdly enough.
How do you get out after you kill your
Because
mom?
he was in a genuine psychotic episode. He'll be supervised the rest of his life.
Okay.
But we spoke to him, so that was one of my favorite. He said he called Legion of Skanks with Doug Stanhope. Because Doug, of course, immediately was like, he's my guy.
Yeah.
You know? And Stanhope calls him with us on the show, and the guy goes, you know, he's telling us what's going on. He was like, yeah, it was mine. He regrets it every day. He's got to live with that. And like, you know, he literally thought he was stopping a demon from destroying the world. He was like, he was out of his mind. He's like, hear me, I believe him. You know what I mean?
Like, so he lives in Bisbee with me now.
Yeah. I'm sure if he could, but he's like, just lives like a work release life, I guess, for the rest of his life. But he was like, I just want to tell you guys, man. He goes, I just want to say to you, through all that I went through and the jail and this and realizing what I'd done and getting better and still having to live with all. He goes, I just want you to know, it's like you guys still made me laugh when I listen to you guys, like always, like through that, man. And I really love you guys. Well, I think I speak for the whole crew when I say, phew. I was like, I think we know what you'll do when you think someone's not into you. But Jay Twyman, Kimowitz was murdered.
Yeah. Kimowitz murder was crazy.
It's crazy. Still untried.
Really?
The guy just sits in jail. concocting new stories to say whenever it goes to jail.
So, should we tell that story? What is it?
What, Kimowitz?
Yeah.
Oh, so morbid.
It's so sad.
Look it up.
It's so dark.
Bummer.
Look it up. It's his old manager. He was the nicest one too.
Best.
Of all of them, I knew one was going to show up dead. I just did not think it was going to be him.
Kimowitz, I know.
I'm like, why him?
Chris Italia.
I know.
Of something heart related, you'd assume.
I know you'd think one of them was going to drop dead from something. You didn't think it was going to be that.
Coke, food.
Oh, God.
The nice Jewish boy goes down for murder. No, the thing we said we wanted to talk about was we have gone on some of the hunts.
Okay, so we saw Jay. We love watching predators be caught. There's probably going to be a lot of weird bleeps in this because of YouTube. For some reason, you can't.
You have to say weird things. You have to go you have to spell
CP
things with like numbers. CP.
Which is also cerebral palsy. So now we can't even talk about people with cerebral palsy without you guys thinking, There was an essay of a DP. So we were watching a video of these hunters.
Dads against predators.
And who pops up but Big Jay Oakerson, our dear friend. And not only did you pop up, they, at the end of the episode, made the guy promote your special.
Standing in a trash can
while his life is ruined forever.
The funnier thing on that was I wish I had it or knew how I probably never put it out at all, but I was doing a live, I think, on Instagram at one point because I was walking by when they confronted him in the grocery store. I walked by them to just kind of overhear what's happening, and I was doing myself on a live. As I'm getting close, they notice that I'm walking by, the guys, and they go, they're already doing you're here to meet a 14-year-old girl, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, yo, you know who Big Jay Oakerson is? And the guy goes, no. And I went, oh. It was such a genuine, I was like, oh. You know who Big Jay Oakerson is? No.
I'm sure we could catch a few at Skankfest.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, maybe that'll be a fun little Easter egg at Skankfest this year, guys.
Who's going to be good?
I can't play the little girl because I have the voice of an 87-year-old
who's going down
postal.
This year's Skankfest. That should be a game.
We're going to get one of you guys. And then you get beat up by Kim Congdon.
Kim Congdon jumps your ass.
Oh, I love Skankfest.
That's the price to pay. Well, she,
how did that happen?
They reached out to me when I was in Detroit and were like, you want to come check out a hunt? And I was like, yes, I do.
Hunt is what they call it.
I mean, they went to the blackest neighborhood in Detroit, into the blackest grocery store where there was
and they didn't
all
know
kinds
you?
of going on in there.
Gosh.
Well, I was a white dude who was, by the way, he wanted under so bad he walked into a not bad situation. That one, I said that we got a little dicey there because when you're walking out there, they start yelling, through the store. This guy's here to meet it's in a black grocery store, so people are coming outside, big fat black ladies on jazzies and shit. Like, what? With 80 kids with them and shit. It was a wild thing. And then so they kind of let him run off into this little clearing where there was a trash can. They made him stand in and say, "I'm a pedophile," and call his mom and all that shit. Tell his mom he's a pedophile. It's so bizarre. Those guys are great. Those guys are awesome. And then I went with Courtney Elizabeth. Is another. She's the female one. I think the only one that
Huntress.
I know. Huntress. She's I don't see gender. They're both hunters, like actors.
Women can hunt.
Yeah, chick hunters. She did a sting house when I was in Indianapolis, and I went to go watch that, and they caught 2 people. It's so. Again, the most disheartening thing about all the true. You said you watch a lot of true crime shit too, so do I. I love it.
I try so hard not to, and it's like
it's wild. First of all, it makes me feel like an old lady getting into it so much. I think it's just things old ladies like is true crime.
I think they're starting to target men more because the girl ones are like Dateline. They're like kind of like neatly like packaged.
Like 2020 and that shit.
Hot. Like they make sure everyone's hot.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's got to be hot for the story.
Yeah, but you go to the internet.
You're not going to see the death of an ugly kid.
You go to the internet and you see some uggos. The internet will give you the ugly ones.
No, they show you like the big
truth.
Fat guy who kills his big fat wife. Exactly.
And then
3 fat kids who don't care, really.
Yeah, Todd can mess with that one. But I really try not to watch them. When I go out of town, Todd is only like always watching his true crime because
Me too, dude.
I think I'm ready. Like I'll go, okay, we can do true crime, and then I'm like, turn it off,
JCS inspired, Ewoo's great. Stay Awake's a great one.
Todd is from Jersey, and this is a pretty Jersey thing. I think he has a friend who killed his mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's what's crazy too, because I'm like, I have
East
a
Coast
friend.
rips, dude.
I'm like, I have a friend that killed my mom. I watch so much true crime, and that never comes up. And it's like, how many of those are out there where it's like?
That's what I mean. They don't even get the documentary. They don't even get the documentary treatment.
Well, if you did it too early too, it's like.
I know. I think when the trial happens, to get a Kimowitz one. That's a pretty nutty story.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
They caught him pretty quick.
Randy, come here.
But but in the Sting house we go to,
I was going about Kimowitz, not him. It does piss me off. I love that guy. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's so many people like, I don't want anyone murdered, but there's like so many.
There's a better list.
There's a way better list.
Dave Knight shouldn't be on the list.
That was a great guy.
Was great.
Well, it got you guys out of being managed by them, I guess. You get to fly free and still perform at the stand.
I got to fly free, yeah. I didn't fire you guys.
You didn't get on spots.
Yeah. Blood in, blood out, right? That Sting house. And it said that's what's disparaging with the true crime shit too, is that when they go, the first guy came and went. He came in, she said 2 or 3 sentences, and then did the old, like, well, this is a thing. And then her friend comes out with the camera, and he just split immediately. They kind of like, run him out to the car, sort of, and then he gets in the car and peels off.
Did they even post that one, or is it not even good enough?
They did.
Yeah.
And then they were like, sorry, it's you, we always try to get him on the thing. And they go, if you can hang out like a half hour, like we can get somebody else. Like, that's how fast it. That's what's so funny too with the long, tedious ones. There's a show called Undercover Underage or something on like HBO Max. It was pretty good. Season 2, they beefed it up. They started catching people because the season 1 was just all like she watched the guy 3 times wearing fake braces and like it's like this wacky shit. And you're like, all you gotta do is go, I'm 13, my parents are going, you want to. People respond right away, and they have all these things where it's like, all right, he said his car's gray, and he said it's from 1997. So how many gray models were there of Fords? And they're going through all this shit. It's like, yeah, here's the address. My parents are going. That's what. But it's crazy that how easy it is to get them. So the next guy came. He was a male nurse. Hilarious. I just kind of like watched from like the background. I didn't like you wouldn't see me on camera at all. Again, also that girl thought very funny, Courtney Elizabeth, to ask both guys when they came in. She would have my special playing in the background and ask them if they knew Big Jay, and both of them said no.
This is good.
And then one of them and one of them said, and one of them goes, he goes, yeah, it's good. And he goes, he goes, no. And she goes, oh, you should watch. It's pretty good. He goes, I think he said something about me being fat and said it's not my thing. I'm just in a back bedroom, like hearing this on like thing monitor. I'm like, this guy, why is he taking that shit on me, you piece of shit?
That's shocking that none of them are your fans. You know what's more shocking? That I offered you food and you said you weren't hungry. I went, was Jay okay?
What's happening? You never watched me eat a ton.
No, I've never seen you eat. I don't think I've ever seen you eat. I would have slapped food.
We were on
I would have slapped food out of you.
Cruise ship.
Ooh. The infamous cruise.
Infamous cruise.
Ooh, that cruise. That was fun.
It was fun.
Maybe miscast. I may have miscast that one. It was so close.
It was so close.
It was so close.
So close
we brought someone that was mad.
So much fun.
We brought someone that was maybe in a mad mood for a couple years, decade or 2.
Great timing.
Oh, it was just.
Hey, you want to go on a celebrate Trump's inauguration cruise?
Were we still wearing our hats when we got on board?
No, you were going.
Oh,
you were going
God,
afterwards. Do you remember that was the initial thing with it? Was the first question?
Listen,
would be, the question would be, are you going to the women's march? And when a girl would go, no, I'm not going to be able to go to that. She'd be like, yuck. Or whatever, just gonna walk away. And you're like, you can't introduce yourself to people like that. That's not how society works, man. It makes me so uncomfortable.
That was a weird time.
It's Kurt Metzger telling comics that are younger than him to shut up. And you're like, stop telling men to shut up. And you're always sitting there like brokering it when no one's brokering it. I'm watching one person be furious and the other person's like
that was
clueless.
That was an interesting time.
What's that?
The Women's March time.
Oh yeah.
Those hats were made by Republicans, right? I mean, they had to have been like a troll.
I'm so
a hat.
I'm so.
Do you know how crazy? Like, just think back. Like, just really think. Like,
you didn't wear one?
No, I did wear. And
There's
let me
no
tell
photos?
you. Let me tell you. They're scrubbed from the internet. Those photos. There was a time in my life you'll never see. Okay.
There's only one dirty secret in your closet.
There's a time. I'll admit it happened. No, I had to do like a whole episode with Ari of Ari's old podcast where I was like, "Look, man, I'm sorry. You guys are assholes, but also, all right, I was a little." Triggered.
Oh no! Everybody got wound up. It was such a wacky thing. Everything was such a time, and just it was all. You know, it's funny. I said it's crazy. Like this is coming from someone again. Understand? I never vote. I don't even know if I'm registered to vote, and in fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not. And that's made people angry before too that I don't vote, but I don't. I'm just not.
It's making involved. Randy horny.
Yeah, Randy. You want that? You like a little dirty, non-political bitch, right? You want to just watch cops and all day?
That teddy bear's
Me too, Randy.
Libertarian.
Randolph.
He likes it.
Oh.
You've never voted?
No, so I've never voted and I never will vote. So who I like or don't like doesn't matter. I don't know policies. But just socially watching Donald Trump navigate the last 8 years to where it's at right now is been pretty insane. Like when he goes, I said I went to that or I didn't go to I watched that last UFC event. He just got back from getting found guilty and everything. An arena stood up when he walked in, and then every fighter, black, white, and foreign, jumped over the cage as soon as they lost. Jumped over the cage to go like take a picture with them and say, help my God.
I know, and then there's going to be like
so it's like, well, I'm not voting. I don't know anything about his politics, but I just went from it in my mind going like, I think you're just supposed to say like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, right? Seems like he's like a dildo of a guy, and he's a piece of shit. Now I'm almost going like, this guy is awesomely like impenetrable.
He's very,
I'm like, this guy is killing it. Like nothing goes bad for him.
But then what's so annoying too is like then the liberal like media will put out that he got booed. They'll be like, Trump was booed, and you're like, people watched him not get booed, you idiots. Like, oh my,
I'm sure there's a handful of people.
We've been having ChatGPT write articles for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had ChatGPT write an article that Tim Dillon has come out as straight and is raising Whitney Cummings' baby with her. And it just writes, like, it quotes everyone. Like, you can just write articles and it'll just, like, write you a full article.
Really?
That's, like, almost passable. Where you're like, it's just, everything's just, it's wild. What was the other one we did that I was
Tim
leaving?
Dillon's gone straight.
That he announced it on his Tim Dillon podcast. And the quote at the end was Tim said, you know, life is comedy, and sometimes you don't see the punchline. Sometimes the punchline will surprise you.
Yeah, no, because I keep seeing like this thing about like, have you ever seen this? It was like Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg team up to make an unwoke studio, and it's a complete bullshit story.
Oh yeah.
And then, like they keep adding like people leaving like Robert Downey Jr. So I made one for Annie. Yeah, I made one for Annie.
Yes,
like,
I made
Annie
one for
joins
me.
Mark Wahlberg, and it's like the article made like Mark Wahlberg being like, Annie will be a great fit. Her quick wit
and spicy take
and it
on
seemed
things.
like a real article. It's so weird.
Post it, but the thing is, we now can just manufacture. I could just write like. Have ChatGPT write like 100 articles about me a day and put them out, and all of a sudden it's like,
there's your PR.
There it is. Sorry, Pam, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, hello, Shaq, hit the bricks. ChatGPT. Oh, I didn't. The thing I wanted to wait to tell you on the show about that Sting House thing. Back was the guy who came and left. She posted them both that they and she sends them, and they came to my show that night. And she sends the videos off to her, whatever, editor, producer, whatever, web host, the person that kind of puts them up and sits in the chat and everything. And they posted them, they put them up live. And when they put them up live, They told me they both came to the show too, her web people, and they go when they put that.
Did they get kicked out for being on their phone doing the live?
As soon as they looked at the guy who walked in and almost walked right back out, they go, their brother and sister, two of them. They go, that's our cousin.
Oh,
like the thing happened. Like the thing is like, the catching Chris, what's his name? Chris Hansen did one of those. I guess it's real. I met him. He seems like I'm prepared to believe it's real, I guess. But that one where he caught the guy that he rides in on the train with work every day.
Oh yeah.
And he just says, he's like, "What are you doing here, Tom? Tom, what are you doing here? Come on." He's like, "Oh man, I just know this is a mistake. I didn't know. Come on, Chris, you could be cool." I can't be cool.
It's definitely real. What actor would be willing to play that role?
Have you watched? I tell you to watch the. I may have said this to you before because I think you would enjoy it. The Chris Hansen walk-in lines when he always like throws something at the people.
No.
You can watch montages of those. It's great. He's like,
I love him so much.
She's like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "First thing I'd like to do is see those pretty little feet." Like, "I've got pretty little feet, Frank. Would you like to see my feet? Why don't you have a seat?" He always give him like the line, the walk-in line.
He is really the
Would you
man.
like to suck my? Would you like to lick my from behind?
We love him so much.
He's great.
I like him because we saw him find love online.
Yeah.
Really?
His it's so perfect. His now wife, I think she's changed her handle now, but it was before her handle was "I love being over 50." He like met a woman whose handle was about how age appropriate she was for him. I love being over 50.
That's what my first ever thing was my early joke. I still would do it To Catch a Predator joke. It was about that. I go, the chat logs were always like, "Oh, I'm so 14." Like the guy's like, "I'm so psyched." 14. He really found that. He goes, "I'm over 50, swear." Because over 50 rules, birth date.
It's just the content is forever.
Yeah, and then someone's like said like he's like an alcoholic. And they're like, "Yeah, but he's an." I'm like, that's almost like cooler that he's just like getting wasted all day. And...
He's got to like. There's demons he sees all the time.
It's also funny when you can see it with him a little bit because he is willing to like. I like this about him because there's a chance he was going to come in, and I thought there was outside shot where he would be like we're catching. Like it's like you want me to do this little like he'll do like we want him to do like bumpers for us. Like, "You're listening to the bonfire, Robert. Why don't you have a seat?" And he'll do that. Yeah. And you're like, that's your line from catching pedophiles, right? Like it's like the real serious business of catching pedophiles, right? Like the fact that it's like but so I like that he's a guy that's not like that, but it seems like the person who does that should be like. And
I've just met
so many of them that I don't think the Dads Against Predators guys are pretty amped up, dude. Those guys are involved in shootouts and fist fights. Those guys are amped up about it. Like they're worked up enough to get into these fights and stuff. The other people ain't there to get in the fights. They're there, and I feel like some of them it's like they understand their content. I do believe they think and are in a lot of ways doing good.
Well, Skeeter,
but I mean
guy.
they're doing good, but there's also like they're making content. Also, make no mistake. Like if this they wouldn't be like, "I've made no money for 15 years, but I've put away so many." You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not like another one's locked up. And they're like,
there's like a content thing though too, but they're also doing.
They're like,
a good
"This got
thing.
demonetized. God damn it!"
But if before this like half pipe videos was making the money, I don't know if they would dedicate their lives to that. So I don't know the backgrounds of all of them. Some of them, I think the ones that get a little scarier, where they live very short times. The few I could remember and tell you. When I think of them, where like you could tell this is a dude that was like when he was younger, and because he's the one that makes them do like there was one guy to make people do stupid shit like push-ups and all this stuff and call their family. There was one guy who was like, eat this habanero pepper and talk to me about, and the guys will be like, he's like, their eyes are watering. He's like, "I'm really sorry, man." Can't even like snot coming out of his nose. He goes, "I'll never do it again, I promise."
That's so funny that you think that's like he put him on Hot Ones, and that's like you're like, wow, the most horrible. This guy is literally children, but do you know what he did? He made him eat a really spicy pepper that hurt for 15 minutes.
Oh no, it's dumb in that regard, but I'm saying like you could hear his thing.
But how much he wants them to feel pain.
He's like a jokery, like his approach to it is he's like laughing at them instead of a bunch of it's but he's not doing a character. It seems like a kid who's like getting his revenge on somebody through all these people.
That's what I like that better.
Me too. Yeah, have a little heart.
I like that. I'm like, yeah, avenge. Now Todd we watched one today of this guy what is his name?
Skeeter Jean.
Skeeter Jean. Did you see the one where he gave?
Now you came the kids, and what you found was a large black man of questionable ethnicity.
Did you see the one? Yeah, ethnically ambiguous. Did you see him where he gets a car for a guy and he goes,
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, it just came out, right? Wasn't that the new one?
Yeah, it's new one. It's very new. Yeah.
And it's
in my For You feed on YouTube.
But he goes into the house and the guy's not there. And it's his sister's there. And his sister's like, oh my God, it's such a nice. So she calls him like, this is just a nice car. And these guys are here from the dealership. And you won the sweepstakes. And the car's out there. And it's a beautiful car. And it's like so exciting. I can't believe it. I'm about to pass out. And her brother goes, do they look like cops? Like, what else is he doing? Yeah, what else is he doing besides just texting 13-year-olds? Because do they look like cops? It's so crazy. It's going to be you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And the truth is they don't look like cops. Skeeter does not look like a cop.
The one guy got stopped multiple times, or he just stopped doing it because he couldn't make a comeback. But his big trouble was he had the guy jump into the Hudson. What was his name? He was like a Middle Eastern guy.
But like that water is so disgusting.
He was so Rami. That was his name, Rami. And he was just like,
it's Rami Youssef.
He just said, yeah. He just had lines like that. He would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would tell them like basura, which is trash, I think, right? And he would just call them. And he goes, and he would go to every time he'd chase him, run him down. He goes, you see that pile of trash over there? That pile of trash is worth more than your whole life. It's just like a line he's latched onto. He goes, not really that harsh. You see that pile of trash? He drives around and he catches them in a Tesla. Like he's such a jerk. Yeah. But he made someone get in the Hudson and they couldn't swim, and it's also illegal to go into the Hudson, and so he got in trouble for that. They canceled all his shit.
That's so funny. He got in trouble. The other guy didn't get arrested.
His one too. It'd be like, call your mom, and I'll jog back and forth. Like go back and forth. Give me 10.
Calling your mom is really embarrassing.
I know they do it, and they do that. The big guy Gordon Flowers, man, he's got some great ones where they have to call. Where they got to call like a sniffer. They're like, what? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they found CP on his computer. So I was like, oh, Larry. It's like, you're like just a disappointed wife at work while the husband's at home during the day. And he's like, geez.
I know, it is like, I like the car one because we didn't watch through, but it's like now his sister knows, his niece knows, all of them know that he won this car. So when he doesn't win the car, like there's no way he can just like keep them from YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some splaining to do.
He goes, nah, I got there. I didn't want it.
Yeah, I have my license.
It was manual.
Yeah.
It was manual shift.
He's just so, but it's so funny to go, do they look like cops? It's just so funny. Like you're just fucking so bad.
Oh yeah.
We were going to do it over the pandemic. We were going to do it. And then we realized, yeah, we were going to do it because we're like, wouldn't it be funny if it's like one comedian, like it's like, you get a couple different people, like comedians catching predators. And then I was like, 2 episodes in, we're catching one of our colleagues. 2 episodes in, it's going to be weird because it's going to be someone we work with.
The head guy at some.
It's going to be someone I'm on a lineup with, I'm like, oh God.
I thought, I had the idea to do it a couple years back. I said, let's do it Philly. Like when Shane was still in Philly, I go, we have like those kind of groups of people go down there. But it's just a funny, like Kyla, who's like in tires now.
Yeah.
But like Kyla's going out there, goes, yeah, you weirdo. Yeah, they're trying to look at little kids' birds. And like, and just all that and confronting him. I said, and do it always have them meet us in Wawa parking lots.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be so funny. And then the first like negative like tinge on that was someone just goes, yeah, what if they forget even like pulling out a gun on all of you?
Yeah.
It's just, are you prepared to deal with the guy just pulling out a gun and like blowing his own brains out in front of you? I go, yeah, it is a little heavy for what I'm trying to get through.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's too much.
Yeah, I go, it's, you know what it is? It's the desensitization of it. Like that's when I went on the one where we didn't get anybody with the Gordon Flowers guy, but we pulled up next to him in the parking lot of a Walmart. When this guy realized what was about to happen, watching a guy genuinely run for his life. I mean, he went over speed, but his car was like falling to pieces.
Yeah.
He was going over speed bumps and everything in that parking lot at 75 miles an hour to get away and get back onto the street because he was just like, you see a guy, it's genuine fight or flight, you know what I mean, or like live or die. He's like, if I stay here, my life's definitely over. That's what he, because he doesn't know how much you have on him or nothing. He doesn't know. It's just a guy going like, look at this camera, call your mom.
I know, it's just. And then
call
they're
your
like,
mom,
all
why?
right, we won't
Because I
release it.
said so. They really should tell him. He goes, what's going to happen if I don't call my mom? He goes, well, we're going to bring this to the police and they're not going to do anything about it because they don't really like what we do. They really don't like us getting involved and think that we're actually slowing down the process of catching criminals.
I know Chris Hansen's like been out. I think he's like, doesn't like that people are doing this. And I remember thinking like, oh, wait, is that because they're like treading on his thing? And then like, no, it's because he has it so like systematically in place. Like there's so many cops.
Just, there's so many people. Yeah.
So much safer the way he's doing it.
There's definitely entrapment in a lot of these ones.
Yeah.
There's like whatever you call that entrapment. It's like you're in touch. Because by the way, all of them too, they do the thing like we post. It's like we post on it's like whatever Tinder or Grindr or whatever,
and say that they're.
but it has to say they're 18. And then when they do so they go, oh well, what about the first? Even though it's the first line, they go, actually you can't say you're less than that, but I'm only 13. And they go, I don't care. There's still the entrapment of going like. But he didn't go on the internet that day looking. It doesn't look like he went on there looking for a 13-year-old. He went for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you said you were 13. You didn't go away.
And
so
then
it's like, and it was all bullshit anyway. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's all bullshit. If it's all.
And there isn't there's no real victim. It's like this
so
fake made up victim. I know.
That's why the undercover underage one is funny because she makes herself a victim. She has to watch the guy whack off for half-hour sessions while a girl off camera holds her hand. Then when it's over, they all pet her head and she takes her wig off.
Are you serious?
She's like, I'm so sorry I had to go through it. He goes, yeah. I go, at 3 seconds into it, you could have been like, oh my God, my mom's calling. I got to clap. She's like, I can't. Why did it take him so long to come?
Am I not hot enough?
Yeah.
Did I not look young enough?
Was I not being given enough braces?
I need my pigtails higher. It is crazy, like dressing to look like a little girl.
They dress in the season 2. They're not the Sting house, but like it's a content house is what it is. But each girl that comes in picks their own person, like their own fake little girl. So on the screen, it'll be like, this is, Deborah / Jill, little Jilly or whatever.
Oh.
And it's them, like they come in and then they go show them how they're going to put the freckles on them and the fake braces and the little pigtails and the others. But more than that, what's even creepier is they have like a 5-bedroom house in the middle of like somewhere Arizona, it looks like. Beautiful house, mansion basically.
Doug Stanhope owns it.
With 7 rooms, and they're each decorated with artwork with the girl with the girl's name, Kaylee or whatever, in like crayon.
Oh my God.
And she's Kaylee and fake trophies for sport.
It's kind of amazing.
It's amazing, but it's so not necessary when you could literally just go on any of these websites and be like, I go in a chat room or something and be like, I'm a kid and my parents are gone.
Did you ever get like chatted up on chat? Well, how old were you during chat rooms? Were you too old to get chatted up?
No, I didn't get chatted up. I did chatting up far more. It was like, I was excited. It
was exciting.
The late night, you just be like, but it was not much to
Did you ever call one of those party lines?
Never called a party line, but like very, very early on, I remember I never understood what they would call cyber sex, which was basically like, and that kind of shit. Like, I never quite got that. So I was very like, I would try, which maybe successful 2 or 3 times. If maybe
do you think it was just 2 dudes with each other?
No. I don't mean I never got that, but I would try to get too quick. When it came out and you get those 20-hour free of AOL discs.
Oh yeah.
So you get the 20 hours. So it was in my room, the computer I got. So I was like, I'd log into the, it was dial up. So it was great to do in the middle of the night because everyone's asleep. So no one's on the phone. It would take the phone line.
Yes.
And you go on the phone. And then sometimes you get somebody to like phone sex, to like get on the phone and like just play with their pussy while you take off. Couldn't guess how weird, like old anybody was. I guess I was like 17 or something, but like, but I was never groomed for anything. I was just, everything was just like age, sex, location, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. We hooked up what boys we were. Such like naive when you think like you're ready for something. Like we met these girls on the chat, AOL chat. I said about 17, all of us, me and my friends, and I used to babysit my brother and sisters all the time on the weekends. So people would come to hang at my house, and these two girls came to my mom's house during the day.
That you met online?
Yeah. They came on, but it was like a lot of people. There was like kids there and stuff,
right,
my little sisters and stuff. So it was pretty like they weren't walking into kind of a weird. It is weird they came. You're right.
Right.
Today you're just like, well, even if if Isabella did that, I'd be like, are you out of your mind? It was also middle of the day. It was like early in the day, and they came and they hung out for a little bit, and they were just. I don't remember the second one, but one of them was so unattractive. And again, but this is also like insecure, young, quite unattractive me. Like
did you bang him?
No. They just came over and hung out for a little bit.
For
It's pretty young. Yeah, I was like 17, so it was pretty young still. But we all thought we were doing, and so later that night, we caught them again in the chat thing or whatever, or just the one of them, the awful looking one, of course.
Yeah.
And it was me and like two of my buddies were still hanging out, and they were like, maybe three of my buddies. I think it was three of us, and they go, "Come." She's like, "If you guys want to come hang at my place, like my downstairs is like finished, and like my parents are upstairs asleep or whatever." And we were like, "Hell yeah, let's go!" Whatever, because no one cares how she looks. Everyone's like, "Is this gonna happen?"
Yeah.
I wonder if I was a virgin. I may not have been a virgin. I may have only been with the girl I lost my virginity to at that point. But so this was still like a situation where you're like, it's a lot, you know what I mean, coming at you, like weird groupie thing.
Yeah.
And we all go to this girl's place. We go in, and she lets us in. We go to the basement. It's like a pool table and stuff. We're hanging very quickly playing truth or dare with this girl. There's only one girl, so it's like,
oh God.
Yeah.
You're just like, can the bottle just land on you every time?
She certainly wants to do all these things. You know, this isn't like a forced thing. It's more like I said, and she wasn't older than us or anything, but like it felt like that. Like she was like, she invited these guys over to do a thing, and we came over to do a thing. But I see us very quickly kind of like we're still trying to keep it a little like light, you know what I mean? So it's like I think I told my friend Glenn, I was like to lick her nipple or something, and she pulled out her horrible tit. Big girl with little tit.
Yeah.
And the nipple had little hairs on it.
Already?
It was bad. It was bad.
She was an early bloomer.
Yep. But we still
comes for us all.
But we were but again, as an adult, you're like,
no, when you're a kid,
you're like, that could even happen.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't know that. Ew, is she okay?
Yeah. And then we made a couple other like kind of like not innocuous, but like, you know, like getting there, like kind of dares of this and that. No like sex or making out or anything yet. And then I think she said, I think there was a moment of a joke, like, why don't we all just hook up with all of us? And then she was like, I'm down to do that. And then she goes, just hang on a second. And she went upstairs to do, I don't know what, get herself together. But I'm telling you, but it wasn't like a she's ugly thing even. It was, we were just so like
nervous.
Yeah. And I remember it might have been me or one of my friends got just concocted to give us a reason. We go, she's going upstairs and calling the police, man. And we all left out of there where she was confused as we left. She was like, are you guys really leaving? And we go, yeah, we're getting out of here. We got in the car. We go, I'm not falling for that shit. Meanwhile, we're driving home going like, the police for what? We've done nothing. Like, what was she going to call the police? Like, we're just all sitting there, you know, and like, we're like kids playing pool and truth or dare. You know what I mean?
I want to know where this girl
kind
is.
Of lame.
This is like an origin story for her life. Like she turned into something because of this night. Like this was a pivotal moment for her. And I don't know.
No doubt.
She like made herself hot. Like she may have like.
Very possibly.
We may find her having.
She may have turned out being fantastic. That was so funny, dude. Everyone just like, she went upstairs. And I just don't know what it was. I remember it's like the excuse we had, like we heard beeping. But if it was, it makes sense because, like, as you know, it could have been the beeping of the refrigerator.
Did you leave her a note?
No. We didn't leave her a note. She went upstairs to go say, "I'll be right back down," and to leave is out front.
Right.
We came in the front and went downstairs.
Right.
So I leave in the front, and like, you know, we're also being quiet. She said because her parents are home and stuff. So we don't want to get. And I mean, it definitely probably woke her parents up because we just were like, she's calling. What? I'm not going to. I'm not gonna have the cops come here, but whenever it was, we just all and we all just kind of like agreed in a haste moment and hauled ass. I mean, we ran past her and we're like, yo, we're getting out of here. We got to go. She's like, wait, you go? Like, yeah, we got to get out of here. We got to go. We got to go. And like, we just like left.
She was just like plucking her nipple hairs.
She goes, oops, didn't see these little babies.
She's like, oh my God. Wow.
I couldn't imagine what the thought was. Because I mean, I think it was pretty like laid out. It wasn't like a, let's see where this goes. I think there was like a blunt, like, whatever the childlike, not funny way of being like, should we all like screw or whatever, you know? Like, and she was just like, yeah,
let's
fuck
around.
I feel like that's a good thing.
But to have that in her head, to be like, we asked.
And the fact
we
that
were,
you guys,
I think we were all expecting. I think you just live life expecting at that point most of our lives when you kind of go like that thing like this. You're almost like saying it jokingly, hoping they say yes, knowing they're going to say no.
Right.
You know
and then when they say yes, you're like,
and when she was like, absolutely, we're like, no. I had that happen multiple times in my life. My neighbor, who was a friend when I lived with my grandmother a lot, up the street was a girl named Kristen. I never really overthought. And then since we were little, and then as we got like, 14, whatever, she gets huge titties. And I kind of like, we should hang out sometime or whatever. And we were in my grandmother's house in the basement, in the finished basement, semi-finished.
That was the best, a finished basement.
We're down there with the paneling.
I have a basement, baby.
The paneling. And we go in there and she's like, it's so awkward. I don't even know if we kissed or anything. And she took her shirt off. And I laid down and she like, and she laid down like on top of me. And I just remember that because like her tits like, mushed up into her neck and they were on me. And we just sat there for like 5 minutes. And then I went, you got to go before my grandmother gets home. I left. It was like, but in my mind, I was like, I was probably telling things where I go, I think today's day, dude, I'm going to go break Kristen off a little piece of something. And when you get in the moment, you're like, what if it doesn't look right? I don't know if mine looks right.
But here's the thing. I thought you guys, like, she came down and you were gone. You saying bye, we got to go, could have been an emergency happened somehow, even though there were no cell phones. Maybe your beeper went off or something.
I think our attitude, I think we were living in the lie of like, we're about to get in trouble for being here.
Right.
So we left with like not this time, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, not this group. Oh, you got to wake up pretty early in the morning to fool these old chaps.
Because I'm thinking that she like shows up and you guys are gone. And I'm like, oh, she'll feel pranked or something.
That would fucking,
but
maybe
probably
would have sucked more. Yeah, she could probably, you know what? We gave her enough to convince herself it wasn't her. And by the way, it wasn't her.
It wasn't her, but it was hair.
It is funny. It is funny. Someone asked me like online the other day a question about like, do I ever get asked or been part of like 2 guy threesomes? And I go, when I was younger, definitely me and like Lewis and Dave.
I know. I'm like, do I have to hear these stories again?
No.
I'm like, do you know how many times? I'm like, what are we on? This is not happening?
Yeah.
Gotta hear the story again?
Yeah. But I'm saying, but it's so funny. You just age out of that. Like the process, the thought of even doing
it's
that.
Insane.
Again, where it's like, if someone's like, I want to fuck you and Lewis, I go, you can just fuck Lewis.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, or it was me, great. But if it's Lewis, like you could be Lewis. But it's like, I don't know.
I just feel like
I feel weird. It's like, I'm just, we see each other's children and watch them grow up, and it's now sitting there. So we're not like kids anymore, where it's like, and we're sitting there in the room and going like, this is Lewis. I have to watch Lewis be like, what's that, Baba? What do you want to tell?
In my late 30s.
I love you, baby boy. And you're like, jeez, dude.
In my late 30s or my late 20s, I attempted to have like a hook up with a guy in front, like while my friend was hooking up with a guy, and it already felt like this was like the last one. Like, like this is the last.
It's not exactly my thing.
Someone having sex in a room that's not me as well, And it was like a whole botched weird situation where like a guy in the middle, like her guy in the middle was like, I gotta go, I have an emergency. And you're like, there's no emergency. Like he just was like, what are like.
It was funny
because it's just like not
the only one that makes sense to me. Where I'm at now in life, I says if Christine wants to hook up with a girl that wants to hook up with us, and like we'll do that because like it all makes sense, at least like physically the situation.
Right, yeah.
And even that is like it's
like a lot of
it's just a lot.
It's extra.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like a little bit much.
It's fun, but there's like so many questions after, the first time thing where you're like, so you're not staying.
Yeah,
like,
are you gonna
right? Yeah, it's like because by the way, it's like as a guy, I would just be like, stay, but like Christine doesn't want you to stay for sure. There's no way. So like very rarely has that ever happened.
Yeah. You're like, what are the parameters? And you like want to be like,
yeah, I'm like, yeah. So it's like that situation like makes sense. We've also done it enough that it's like it's not that crazy. But like, I was about to, like, to get behind Christine while she's sucking some guy's. I don't know why. Like, I see the hotness more in the visualization of that than like being one of the guys. Like
them being there.
Yeah,
and, like,
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
Babe,
It's
can
like-
you get the sheets
like-
with the other guys come on it and
it's like,
wash them?
It's like, do it and tell me about it, or take a video of it. But like, I don't know if I
Would
want
you
to
not
see
care
it.
about that?
If she wanted to do that, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't care?
Yeah. I mean, she gives me pretty like.
I said
she gives me
Todd
pretty good freedom that I couldn't like.
Yeah. Todd says that I can hook up with girls, and I say he can hook up with guys.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
But Todd, do you really think do you really feel that way? You would be so mad if I hooked up with a girl.
Would you? I think I see that go either way sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
It's so weird. Really?
It really. Can I tell you why he might feel it? I'm sorry to answer for you, but
Go
I'm
ahead.
curious if it's the thing. It's the same thing with Christine. I watch, like, sure, I'll tell Christine, hook up with any girl you want to at all times. She will, if you've been involved, if you've had like the way she has been exposed to women, like within our relationship, even too, or even beforehand when she's like to somebody, she does not want to date a woman. It's it's like she doesn't
feel like
she doesn't
that
really
with
want
her,
to fuck any of her friends. There's people she wants to fuck. You know what I mean? Like keep them a little bit at like arm's distance. You
but
know
I
what I'm
also
saying?
think that Annie wouldn't do it anyway. So it's like,
I know, but I'm always trying to like understand, like, are you being serious?
'Cause if
Or-
you-
She is.
Because I know the lesbians that I know are not like, oh yeah, I'll just like hook up. They're like, I will steal your girl. Like I know
No,
lesbians
right,
that
yeah.
will like make their life's goal, knowing that you said it was okay to like steal me from you, to like hook me in and pull me by the pussy
But
out
that's
of your
not the
life.
person you'd hook up with.
Right.
Yeah, you hook up with a person who.
Is it not the aggressive masculine one that's like being like tough and like?
Maybe that is the one. But I mean, like, but I'm
I've
just,
only the only girl I
think
ever hooked up
he's-
with was basically a dude.
Yeah, I think he is, I can believe somebody wouldn't be bothered by it because, again, one, the physical action of it
Is not.
is just way less
It's not the
invasive,
same,
I
yeah.
guess, to watch that happen.
But would he be watching it?
And I think your personality doesn't strike me much like Christine's. You don't want, you're
I don't
not going
wanna
to
be around
fall in
women.
love
I don't
with a
want to be
chick.
around women.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I'm saying, like, Christine likes to
I
fuck.
can barely talk to my mom. Just kidding. I love my mom.
And I know Christine wouldn't hook up with a girl also that she didn't like. It's not that she doesn't like these people at all, but it's like it's when she hooks up though, it's like
If a
you-
girl
it's
made
a-
me want to hook up with her, it would be a weird, shocking.
you're gonna be that
thing.
person and not a barbecue person. You know
But
what I
what
mean?
I'm
So you're
saying
gonna
is-
you're gonna be
no,
a
but-
hookup person, not
What
a
I'm
not
saying,
a
like,
barbecue
if
person.
a girl got me to hook up with her, it would be so weird that you should be worried. Do you know what I mean? It would be so weird.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 'cause it's
For
like
me to
your
be
house.
that they would have unlocked something in me that doesn't exist.
Right.
That would be like, you're in trouble. That's in my head. I'm like, if a girl like got me, because I've had women like pursue me and I'm like, and they pursue you very, not that, the ones that did were very aggressive and like very excited about the idea of like,
but in my
turning.
mind,
like getting like, and I know maybe you guys are going to get up by this, but like you kind of,
in my
kinda, like,
mind,
shift.
because
I guess that-
but I mean, it's like,
He goes, go.
like even like, okay, Megan, TJ's friend that we're hanging out
oh
with,
yeah.
she's the steal your girl lesbian.
No, in my mind,
Like
It's
if you
like-
give me like a short hair girl, and I'm not saying that's like what I'm attracted to, but I'm like,
right.
if they come around and they're like, oh, there's like are you on your period? Like they're like a shark. Like, is there blood in the water right now? Like,
Chum.
yeah.
But for me, it's like, because I know you're like not into girls at all, I feel like the only ones that would get you, or I guess either one like that, like a super masculine, or if it was just like, you know, we're at like a party and it's like fuck, I don't know, like
We're on Molly or something.
no, like some like celebrity girl is just like, oh,
So
like,
in Todd's
I'm like,
mind,
all right.
I'm hooking up with Olivia Munn. Okay, so in Todd's mind, when he says you can hook up with a girl, he means Olivia Munn. Okay, so let's just be clear. That's what this means.
Hall pass.
Now I see what's going on.
It all checks out.
I mean, right?
I know what you mean, and you're like, you can hook up with Whitney. Can you imagine? I raised Whitney's baby
Yeah,
with
you
her.
guys together.
I raised Whitney's baby with her. I wonder if Whitney would be like mad at me if I hooked up with a girl and it wasn't her. I could see her getting like territorial. Not that she ever gives me like Leslie vibes.
If you
or
were
like
gonna
she's
try, yeah, you're not gonna try with me.
She'd be like, what?
Yeah, but that's what I think. Also, I think that would be interesting though too. Is the butch things like Christine's always like when I see her attraction to girls, it's like feminine girls. Yeah, for sure. Like pretty good. She's never like called out like a like a butchy.
No, because you don't go to that. They come to you. They get like there was a girl.
So that's the type of girl that likes you.
There was a girl, and this is where she.
Wait a second. Do you think that means Christine's the butchy that the pretty girls come to? I thought they were two pretty girls. I thought they were two pretty femmes having sex. Is Christine? Is she the one?
The two femmes are cute. I love a two femme couple. There's this woman who I took her breathwork classes, and she's 60 years old, and she's like so hot, and she's this like, she's such a hot femme lesbian, and she's like ripped. She's like a fitness instructor too. And I met her girlfriend, and I was like, they're so hot. It's like so weird how hot they are. And I'm like, that is like such an exciting lesbian couple. Yeah. I mean, that was like exciting. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, this is like
it
out. Take
so
a peek.
Cool.
It goes down, take a peek.
I know, this is, if you guys made an OnlyFans. But the women that have hit on me are like, they're like guys. And this is what the lesbian said to me that got me, like, I did like get confused by her. She goes, I just never, this is when I was drinking a lot too. I was like 20, you're like with your beard.
I was scratching my chin.
Jay's like, there's like hearts coming out of Jay's eyes right now. He's like, tell me more. You've never been this quiet.
What color were?
No, but what she said to me, so I was like drinking a lot. It was like, I was living in Santa Fe. She kept like hitting on me, and I liked her. She was my best friend, you know? And she looked like a boy, and we would drink a lot, and she'd like kind of like put the moves on me, and I'd be like, I just never have even considered being a lesbian. And she'd be like, you've never considered? I was like, never even crossed my mind. I was always like boy crazy. It's never was a thing. And she's like, but don't you think that means you're gay? And I went, what? And it was so confusing. It was so confusing that I was like, is it like internalized homophobia that I never, like, why didn't I ever like let myself even think about it? And it got in my head where I was like, maybe. And then she got 2 knuckles in me, and I went, take yourself out of me.
Really?
I went, let's smoke a cigarette. It's not for me.
Really?
I was so not into it.
Well, it
was so soft. It just like wasn't. I was like, ooh.
That's so.
She was like, her lips were, everything was so soft.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're not into it, I could see not being, because like, why it doesn't look like crazy for like, want to see like 2 girls kiss. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it does seem, it's so foreign to me to see that with guys, which I don't care.
Oh, well, I mean, I've seen you kiss guys more than anyone.
I've kissed
By the way, can I say I don't do drugs. Like people think I have Tourette's because my nose itches all day long, and I always feel like there's boogers in it, and everyone keeps bringing this up to me.
Yeah.
Todd, his mom. But his mom, I had to be like, what time of year was that? Because I think that was when I was carrying a little ketamine around with me. But I'm very cognizant of it, and people think I'm like cracked out because of it, but it itches. And that makes me sound more cracked out, by the way.
Okay.
I'm drinking coffee at night, okay?
I guess so.
But I tried to look Philly for you. Does this look Philly?
Oh yeah. Okay. You should put on lip liner.
I did. I tried to. I couldn't find I put a little bit on, but I couldn't find my thing. I heard on Legions of Skanks, you guys had a little vote on girls. I also got a text from Lewis. I forgot to bring this up.
Yeah.
To Lewis. Lewis texted me, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. He goes, hey, can I have a picture of your mom?
that was earlier than 6 months ago.
Was it more recently?
Yeah.
He goes, we're rating comedians' moms. And I go, you're an animal. I would never in a million years give you a picture of my mommy to rate.
Doug Stanhope.
My mommy?
Doug Stanhope, only comic who asked to be in the contest and sent multiple pictures of his mom with her tits out. He's the best. He's the best.
I thought I was going to send her pictures after she died.
No, it was the best. But
I love Doug.
My mom won.
Your mom won?
Yeah. In fairness.
Well, she was a leave her son with her mom type of gal.
Yeah.
Those are the hottest moms.
Yeah. I influenced a little bit the way it was kind of going. I would sometimes vote for some people that I knew weren't so attractive. My mom had the body.
Right.
She had the big Jew beak. No, she's pretty, but I mean, she had like big. She was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was fine. But I'm saying she was a size 0 with monster tits.
Oh, that's fun.
It was She's like an 80s star in
that's
that regard.
Fun.
And so like
so we don't date our moms.
And I would
Christine and I have something in common. I was wearing padded. I like padded my bra, and Christine was like, "Did you get a boob job?" I was like, "Christine, I would never get a boob job without you. I would never like leave you without like
leave you behind.
I would never leave you behind.
Hold hands.
We're flatties together."
She says now. It's so funny.
I would never get a boob
now
job.
when you could do it. Like when we were
was she thinking about
dating,
it?
she was like, think about it. And she also knew a couple people that did it and whatever. And I was like, and it's funny I don't care either way. Yeah. But when the girl's getting into it,
you're like,
you start processing it. You start going
like,
oh, that'd be pretty fun. I guess.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like Christine in clothes is gonna shape a little differently, and that's gonna all right. Okay, and then now she's in a place where like, absolutely not. I don't have to change my body. I go, of course you don't. Damn, that would have been neat to see though. Like, what do we cool to see it? Like you don't have to.
You can take them out.
Yeah, because I think they could just reverse that like in a day or two.
I think.
See if you hate it.
What I have been finding is I know a lot of people that are getting them removed too.
Yeah.
They're making them sick. They make them crazy.
It's also people forgetting that like you have to change them every 10 years and
I know,
stuff
it's
too.
Like crazy, and it's like such a crazy
You're asking
surgery.
yourself for surgery after surgery.
I have a friend who every time he has a girlfriend a year in, I'm like,
here it comes.
Wow. I'm like, wow, you're good. You're good. They're happy though. The girls are like smiling ear to ear, but I'm like, damn. I go, you look different. Okay. He's like the big boob whisperer.
Yeah, does I get him?
He always gets them. Every single one of them. He probably pays for them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest. If you get them to pay for them themselves, that's wild.
Yeah.
I never wanted
Christine,
them.
why don't you go get yourself some tit implants?
Yeah,
What? I get all the bills. You can cover the tits.
I
love Soder calls his hair transplant hair tits.
Oh, did he get them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, a while ago now. Probably been like 2 years.
Yeah, maybe I did hear that.
Yeah, it's been almost
I know
2
a lot
years.
of people. You have good hair.
Yeah, then I started getting worried. I'm doing so many shows where I'm seeing myself on camera with lights shooting down like this, and you're like, is it thinning or is it just gel? I think it's just gel. I think it's
gel.
I think it's just gel.
It looks the same on the side too, though.
Yeah. I'm all right.
Oh my God, but if that is thinning and it's all gone there.
Yeah, my family history doesn't say it should be the case, but if it does, now I'll go Justin Silver on speed dial. Justin, what's the gay Illuminati I have to join to get my hair back? Justin's hair grew back without surgery. Yeah.
Did he take him?
Josh Adam Myers, he got like helping out with all that stuff. No, it's not the him stuff. It's like doctors with this and injections with, I'm like, sure, I'll do all of it. If I am thinning, I shouldn't. But if it starts happening, I will get that handled immediately because I am not a shaved head guy. I look like an escaped patient.
Yeah, no, you do. You know who you look like with a shaved head? You look like the guy who was Michael Jackson in The Simpsons. Do you remember him?
Yes.
But, that would be what you look like.
But it's funny.
Wasn't he bald?
It's an actor. Yeah, he was. I look like Vince Taylor Pruitt. I don't know if that's his exact name. I don't know if it's exactly his name. Pruitt Taylor Vince, maybe.
Can you also pull up
Taylor Vince, I think.
Michael Jackson from? I want to see if I'm right.
I think it's Pruitt Taylor Vince. I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, there he is. I like that guy who always plays the wiggly eye guy in every movie. He's an Identity.
Seven? Was he the one?
I think he was in Seven for sure. Yeah.
He was Gluttony.
Yeah, he always plays in Natural Born Killers. He plays a guy because his eyes do the rapid eye movement.
Is that wild?
And that's the movie Identity, where it was like 10 little Indians, but it was happening in his head. Whenever I say that, if I shave my head, I look at the guy who the movie Identity happened in his head.
Can you look up Michael Jackson on The Simpsons? Yeah.
He was a big guy. Yeah, there.
That guy.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Right there,
Lisa,
his crotch.
it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
I'm pretty good with the you look likes.
Yeah, me too.
I do eye it with them. There was one picture where I was like, Tony Hinchcliffe looked exactly like P. Diddy. It's like crazy. I got them like side by side and I was like, this is wild. I'll have to find it. I was watching the P. Diddy, they had a documentary.
The Tubi one.
The Tubi one. And don't you feel like Audrey O'Day, whatever her name is, ruined it?
Aubrey, yeah.
He was like really mean to me. He ruined my career as a singer. You're like, that's just being on a reality show.
She is currently, as we speak, on Baddies like Cancun or whatever, where she's just fighting with her snatch out, like fist fighting in a kidney-shaped pool with a.
She's like, this is because of P. Diddy. I'm like, you're taking away from the like.
Yeah, she's bad.
I'm like, you're not helping the.
No, it's the problem.
There's always one person where you're like, this is not bad.
All these Hollywood exposés are just surrounded by, like, I hate the people on all sides of it. The victims, the accusers.
No, it's true. Like, I watched the Kevin Spacey thing with Tim. We were like at his house and we were like watching it like, oh, you're like, point for Spacey, point for the victim. You're like, some of them. The one guy was really hot though. The one that was on the show with him.
The one that cried.
Then he went and whispered in his ear. Remember he had to like, he had to go, he was on House of Cards and he had to like whisper something in his ear on the roll. Mm-hmm. And then he turned around and then like in the scene, Kevin Spacey like followed him out and he like followed him out and grabbed his, I was like, this guy's hot. Like, I get it.
Yeah, with the guy who started crying because he was like talking about getting taken advantage of too. And he's that big bodybuilder guy.
The bodybuilder guy was so annoying.
Everybody says what you're going to do. When that happens, when a guy pulls his gun next to you and you're going to kick his ass, he goes, I'll tell you, it's not what you do. He goes, no, it's not what you did.
I know, dude.
I go, somebody might.
I know, a lot of people might.
Yeah, do it to Method Man.
Also, it's just like, why did you
pull your next to Method Man? I bet I'll punch you.
I mean, don't do it to Meek Mill. But it is like, just why? I just don't understand, like, because in my head, I just think, if you met Kevin Spacey, can't you meet a more honorable celebrity? Like,
yeah, you got to Kevin Spacey.
You're in the realm of getting to a celebrity. You can't get to like in their head, the only avenue is that's the only way you get in a movie.
I mean, by the way, if you were just trying to get a fast pass and you just go, like, I think it's less weird if they're not gay guys and they're like, all right, I'm gonna write this thing, I'm gonna suck Kevin Spacey's. He's going to introduce me to this guy. I'll probably polish his knob a little bit. And then by the time we do, I'm going to get this thing to John Hamm the way I initially intended.
I'm going to be skiing. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be in everything. It
took me 30 to suck 30 frogs to get to this John Hamm prince.
But I also wonder if it's like, can't you just be like, before you blow him, be like, can we like make a contract right now?
Yeah.
Like, can we just put in writing? Like, I will blow you once a month if you can get me a part on Law and Order or something.
I'll show up. I'll be, semi at your beck and call. Give me 8 hours. I'll be there.
I can be around. I can be around if you need me. Like, but it's just, you don't do it on the hope that you're going to get the thing. You have to like have some sort of, because I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why this guy is not the first that guy's ever sucked, because even right there, he goes, I guess this is the way too. He goes, we'll find out first.
Yeah.
The guy's already posted.
Ask some questions.
He's presented an awkward situation.
He's vulnerable.
Right. He's presented an awkward situation.
Right.
So here's the thing, if you freak out, like, he's gonna get weird too. Do you know what I mean? So
Not
if you pull it out,
only
you go, hey, I'll suck your dick, dude. You want your dick? I'll suck. But like, what is it? Are you gonna like, are you coming to look at my thing, or you just want your dick?
Right.
Because like, I'll suck, but like I want to get a thing. I don't want to
show my movie to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And I'll suck. And I'll let him eat me out. I will say I saw Rose McGowan in a lot of Harvey Weinstein movies recently. I just was on a roll of them and I'm going, he did get you, girl. He got you.
Oh, yeah.
He gave you stuff.
Oh, no, he gave her stuff for sure.
It was an exchange.
She went back.
I know.
She went back. I mean, her thing was like, I'm sure it's all of that stuff, you know what I mean? Like whatever her guilt is or victimhood of it is all. But that thing, when she's just bald-headed, sitting in a tub talking to herself. Remember that short-lived reality show?
So the reality show was crazy.
I think he just felt bad. I did those 4 episodes and they were like, they just stopped it in its tracks.
I mean, that was worse than the Wendy Williams documentary. I'm like, we got to stop getting cameras on crazy people, okay? That's for his show with Ralph.
Poor Wendy Williams. Man, she is just like, she's just
mean. Speaking of rapid eye movement, she's
just mean to everybody and then and only likes the people that are like stealing her money.
Oh, well, she was always mean. That was her move.
No, but I mean, not like to that. I don't think she would be like that with someone. She goes, I mean, someone she just met, she goes, no, you got to cut the cuticles first. What are you, stupid? And you're like, whoa. Or she told her partner, she goes, the girl who ended up like,
I didn't watch it.
oh, there's one girl ended up taking a bunch of her money.
Standards.
Yeah.
No, I was like scared of her eyes. I don't want to watch it.
It's pretty creepy. Yeah. But
she looks like that lady. Remember the black lady that could pop her eyes out?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
That lady, she was on Jesse,
commercials,
like, Jesse Jones in commercials all the time.
Just because she could do that.
Or Jenny Jones, excuse me.
Jenny Jones canceled for gay murder.
Yes, canceled for true crime.
Yeah. That was
she was one of the first cancelings. Like true, like where she didn't have a career after that.
Sally Jesse Raphael was like nice.
Like, she did it.
Those are so gone now. They've introduced new ones, but I don't think they're catching the heat of like spring. That's why they still keep Maury reruns on.
And they have
people
Steve
who already know they're
one.
the father. Steve's also hilarious. He's getting old and funny, so he sits with them now. He used to stand all the time and tell them if they were like someone over, they couldn't sit down, he'd throw their thing through the stage. Now he's just like chubby and like sitting down, like, hey man, you shouldn't your daughter.
Oh my God. Or
they pick such heavy subjects for that one still. I'm
and
surprised
those
they still
actors,
exist.
Right? Those ones are
they say
actors,
no, but I mean like it would have to be, because it's just that, like, for everybody else being like, you cheated on me and I'm worried that the baby is your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
So that one is flat out like, you poisoned my twin children and killed them.
It's too much.
And the guy will be like, I didn't. And that's just not a situation where a crowd should be like, boo, you probably did murder your children, your stepchildren.
It does feel weird that Jerry Springer's dead.
Wow, I got to interview him like not long
you
before.
Did?
Yeah.
Why does everyone die after they meet you?
I don't know, man. It's the kiss. It's the kiss of death.
It is like, it's just weird because in high school, we had like community service. We were juvenile delinquent school, so they were getting us ready for community service.
Sure.
So on Wednesdays was community service day. And I did Frank's helpers. He was the janitor. Actually, shockingly, the only one that didn't any of us was the guy Frank, who sounds like the guy.
The actual Freddy Krueger.
Frank's helper. He literally, like, how is that? He was the only one that was like good. But he would.
Oh, is that what it was? Is it because it was delinquent school? That's why the teachers were just these nefarious people who were like,
I think, because
who's going to believe you?
Exactly. I know.
Damn,
well,
what a dark place.
I know, and I can't wait to take them down. Skeeter and I are coming. I'm just trying to pick the perfect hunter to come for you.
Oh yeah, you get the girl. She can go infiltrate.
I'm shopping. I know.
She get with sneakers on her knees.
Sneakers on her knees. Duct tapes her tits, sneakers on the knees, blacks her tooth out with Sharpie.
Hey, mister.
They're like, this is a high school. You're going too young.
Oh, sorry. I'll be right back. You got to do an SNL costume. She's got prosthetics on now.
Oh my God. It's so funny. Yeah, no. So he had Frank's helpers when he was like, I don't need your guys' help. It's so easy to clean the school. It's a small school. So we would just sit, his office was just in this like dungeon in the basement, basically. And there was one.
It's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no, it really was. And he had us like, we could just all sit down there. He'd let us smoke cigarettes and smoke weed. And we would just like watch Jerry Springer.
That's not bad.
It was
smoke
awesome.
cigarettes with him?
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
No, not with him. He just like left us in there.
Oh, so you just.
He wasn't even with us. He was just cleaning and doing all the stuff. And we were just down there.
And he smoked, so it didn't matter. He could probably tell.
It was in the basement. No, they
just wouldn't give a shit.
Nobody cared. It wasn't a real
juvenile
school.
delinquent school. No, I'm saying that's kind of like the one fun thing about that is like that's the best. Like when you've set the bar to a situation so low it doesn't matter. Like it's like you guys could curse in school. It's like they're just happy we're not trying to fight the teachers.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't have chairs. There were pillows. They weren't even like you don't need. You can just lay in pillows.
Just like
it's fine.
Sit here and try not to kill your parents.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that was when I was young. When I was in high school, the popular movie was Heavenly Creatures. Do you remember that movie? Heavenly Creatures was with, what's the chick from Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet and some other girl, and they kill her parents, one of their parents.
All right.
And my one friend was always like, let's watch this over and over again. I'm like, guys, this is getting a little weird.
It is funny though, when the one, because you think about the kid who was that in your school, and it's funny because like in those true crime things, seems like one out of every maybe a couple thousand of those kids goes a little too deep into the macabre. Like, and they start to, because like I watched one today that was just like that. It was like spooky drawings and in evil poetry, and you still feel like if you heard that without, again, the music and knowing that they eventually killed both their parents and brother, that
you're like, I remember that. Yeah, that was like that guy, and
it's like, and it's the thing. And you look back,
I had algebra 2 with that guy,
and you look back and you go, God, remember when I put like black eyeliner on and wore those like thumb gloves?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you still wear those.
I don't wear thumb gloves. They're full knuckle gloves.
I've been thinking about
and
this.
they're seasonal.
The algorithm.
Let me keep defending them.
The algorithm is so dangerous for people that are mentally unstable because it is mimicking schizophrenia. I mean, it's like feeding their like if you're a kid that's like, I want to kill my parents.
Yeah.
Your algorithm is now kill your parents things. Like you're just like, oh, well, this must be a sign. I got another thing in my algorithm about. Like if you're searching heavenly creatures as a kid, they're gonna. What else is like this? It's like everything is. That's
very scary, and it's also funny. Like for some reason, I'm not a social media person like that. Like I'm like TikTok or anything.
You don't even need to be. You could be.
Christine loves no, but that's what I'm saying. It's weird though, the attention thing of anything else. Like I watch, like especially when I'm in my hotel and like watching on the computer, like Anniewood and all that kind of like the true crime shit. Like I'm also actively at the same time replenishing lives or something on Candy Crush and some untangling games. Yes. But in a weirdness like that's like it's too that I'm hearing this information, but I like things that are a little bit longer and stuff like that. The TikTok thing never caught me. I just for some reason I don't even I know I have a page and they put stuff up on it and I hope it get me a zillion views on it.
No, I don't mess with TikTok either.
But it's not. I'm not afraid because Christine's like it's probably for the best because like that algorithm gets you. I go, I don't think so. My algorithm's too different all the time. Like it really does go like.
No, because
like, I don't watch.
Even if you talk about something, your phone will send you stuff. Like,
of course, yeah.
All of the things that schizophrenic people back in the day thought was happening are now actually happening
they're
now
listening to
them, and it's like the TV's talking to me, the phone's listening to me. Like it's all happening.
Yeah, that's true.
And whatever their like crazy obsession is being sent to them over and over again. And like, because your YouTube is going to be the same stuff.
No,
you're getting all murder shit.
Like, oh yeah, no, exactly. It's all those things. When the new one comes up, it's in there. It's Eagles, True Crime,
the band.
People talking about.
It's just Eagles Live. You're just watching the band.
The podcast clips that shit on comics.
Right.
Sixers stuff.
The thing with those is they infiltrate you fast. You click on one, and it's always like. Andrew Schultz and Tom Segura hate each other, and you're like, they do? And you watch it, and you're like, no,
I always watch. It goes the never-ending decline of whoever. Like this is whoever. Like, all right. Then you watch it, and it's just like this is not. And you look at the
you know them, and you're like, oh, you got it all.
And you look at the views of it too, and you're always like, it's so low, and you're just like.
And then so many pop up after that, and you just have to resist because you're like, there's no real.
Like the downfall, and you're like. I think they're all doing fine.
Yeah, they're actually so rad.
You think you're part of this downfall that doesn't see coming. Yeah, did Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura ruin the Tom Brady roast? I'm like, but they did fine. Everyone did great. It was like, what's the big like?
It'll be so weird.
It's like, the beginning of the end for Bert Kreischer. I don't think it is.
They're like Shane Gillis is over. You're like,
yeah. He goes, I think he's still here for me. Like, I think he's climbing quick.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a special. Is that what you're on here to promote?
No, special's been out. I got a new crowd work thing I'm trying to sell, but
okay. So I thought you were
something will be coming
soon.
Yeah, I'm just in town doing shows, so I figured I had the day early, so come see Annie.
What are you doing?
Irvine Improv.
Oh, fun. I'm doing Oxnard.
Oh yeah.
It's called the most papered room in America.
Is it really?
Oh, it's gonna be just no hablo inglés.
I love weird. I found out in California from up to down the state that I have a weird Cholo audience, which is great. Yeah, it's pretty great, and they're awesome audiences, and that's why I've always found like far more than LA. I'm getting LA's rhythm a little bit more now with the audience. Also, if it's my show in LA, it's like it's my audience, but like for just like the audience that comes, and where I feel I think like what's the not Oxnard, but what's the other Ontario, anywhere blue collar California. I do great. I love those shit.
It's so fun.
It's the best, yeah.
I love Hispanic audiences are the best.
Yeah.
They like to be made fun of. It's just a good.
They're not.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's
fun. Unoffendable usually.
I mean, most audiences.
Don't talk about the Lord.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry.
You're not talking about the Virgin Mary.
I don't know enough to talk about it. All right. You're the best. I love you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
We really do. We love each other.
It's the meat and potatoes.
Welcome to Anniewood. This is the land of the Stannies, Annies, and Fannies, and all of the sleeping nannies. Yeah, welcome to Anniewood. This is the land of the Stannies, Annies, and Fannies, and all of the sleeping nannies. I'm gonna fire Oscar. I'm about to prosper. Blingy on my drinky, and Randy is living.
Oh, Randy, how did you feel about today's episode? Was it good? Did you like it? Did you like it outside? Did you like it like a puppuccino? Puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino? Did you like a puppuccino?